Hello, my name is Sophie and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would make another TBR because I'm someone who can barely keep up with my monthly TBR, so obviously I need another reading list to work on. The weather in the UK has been astonishingly nice in these past couple of weeks. We've had a couple of colder spells. We did have a thunderstorm the other night, which I still kind of enjoyed, but obviously it's a little bit more difficult to sit in the garden during a thunderstorm. But I thought I would put together a little spring-summer TBR. But I don't like the idea of calling it a spring-summer TBR just because I have my monthly TBRs and I don't want another list. But essentially, I've just picked 10 books that I would like to read in my garden. It's almost exclusively contemporary romance books. I just want something easy and cheesy and light to stick my teeth into. And I'm not sure I've hit the mark on all of these, but I'm going to try my best. I don't know. Hopefully it will get 10 more books off my TBR. And that's the real goal here. I've decided recently that I'm going on a book buying ban for the next, until I've read 28 more books, because I've read 28 books so far this year, and I have bought/acquired 56 books, which is exactly double how many books I've read. So until I match how many books I've bought, I'm on a book buying ban. I have, however, pre-ordered a few books before all of this, so realistically it's not 28 books I need to read, it's probably nearer 35, but we're going to keep trying until that number is more even, which should hopefully make a nice dent in my TBR. So these are the 10 books on my spring-summer TBR / 10 books I would like to read in my garden / outside of my house at some point in the next few months while the sun is actually out in the UK. The only order I have these books in is paperback and then hardback at the bottom, so that the stack doesn't fall over. The first book I picked is almost exclusively because the cover gives me summer vibes. I don't think anything to do with the plot. I don't even know if it's set in the summer. I have no idea. But the first book is Every Colour of You by Amelia Mandeville. I think this is a YA romance, but this cover's just so cute. I mean, the rainbow in the lettering and the white, it's very, very pretty, and it's giving me summer. So that's the first book I would like to read this summer season, plus it's YA, so hopefully it will be quite fast-paced and easy to read. Then we have a bit of a wild card, and the reason this is almost exclusively contemporary romances, because I have picked Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. I don't really know how this ended up on my shelves. I feel like I absorbed this from my mum, perhaps. I know this is quite a renowned book. I did think it was fiction for a while. I think it's non-fiction, but every time I go to get rid of it, thinking, oh, I don't need to read this book, I read the back and I think, actually, I do kind of want to read that. So hopefully this summer I can actually read it and decide whether or not I actually need it in my collection. This will either be life-altering or I'll be completely indifferent. And I'm not sure which way it's going to go yet, but hopefully we'll find out this summer. Then a very obvious pick, Beach Rivals by Georgie Tilney. I essentially just shopped my shelves in trying to make this list, and this one obviously has a very summery cover. It's got beach in the title. Oh, it's set in Bali, so definitely very summery. Forced Proximity, Enemies to Lovers, it seems. Perfect for fans of Emily Henry. Beach Rivals is a slow burn enemies to lovers rom-com that will sweep you off your feet. And you know what? That's the kind of vibe I want this summer. So Beach Rivals by Georgie Tilney. Pretty sure I picked this up last summer, if not the summer before. So I really need to get to this. Then we have the book that I was so excited about I accidentally bought it twice. Forget Me Not by Juliet Soto. There's an irony there, and I'm aware of it. I picked this up for a solid £3 at the works, and then I was so excited about it I forgot I'd already bought it for £3 at the works and bought it again. This book is about two people who work in weddings, and I think it's another Enemies to Lovers one, but weddings just scream summer. I imagine it's set in the summer. Most of wedding season is set in the summer. So, and it's for fans of The Love Hypothesis and The Unhoneymooners. So I've read one of those, and the other one is also on this list, The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I've never read a Christina Lauren, and I know this is one of their most prolific. I think Love and Other Words is their most popular, but this is definitely up there. I got this one long enough ago that it was in the £3 for £5 deal at the works, and I believe that deal is now up to £3 for £7 or £3 for £7.50. I think I probably bought this when I first started getting into book talk, so maybe 2021 or 2, maybe 3, and clearly I never got around to it. This is another kind of wedding adjacent one. This is The Best Man and the Maid of Honor, I think. Everyone gets sick and they have to go on the honeymoon, or they get to go on, I don't know. I don't really know, but I think it's going to give me summer vibes, and I'll finally have an opinion on Christina Lauren. Then we have another book that's a very obvious choice, Summer at the Santorini Bookshop by Rebecca Radin. This is one that I picked up last summer when the deal was £3 for £6. I'm just a big fan of the works, can you tell? Yeah, I picked this up last summer, being like, yes, this is the one book I'm going to stray from my TBR and I'm going to read this book in the summer. Clearly didn't do that, but it's obviously set in the summer. It's in the title. Santorini is a Greek island I really want to go to, so I'm going to live vicariously through this book. And it's set in a bookshop, and I love books about books. So this is a recipe for a perfect book for me. Oh, someone take me to Greece, man. Bloody love Greece. Then we have Shipped by Angie Hockman. I picked this one up in a charity shop in York last summer, and I picked it up almost exclusively because it's set somewhere to do with the Galapagos, and I've been to the Galapagos and it was one of the best trips of my life, and I want to relive it. So I believe they're on a cruise ship. There's 2 people that work in marketing. It's another enemies to lovers. We love summer enemies to lovers, apparently. But 2 arch rivals, 1 promotion. Can they resist falling for one another in paradise? Hope not. I'd like to read about it. So that's the other one. Then the last 3 books are all in hardback, which is why they're at the bottom of this pile. The next 2 are some of the Afterlight subscription books I got last year that I didn't get around to reading. Afterlight is the romance subsidiary of the Illumicrate subscription box, and I'm not subscribed to it anymore because it's too expensive and I didn't love the books enough. Yeah, these are 2 of the books that I didn't get around to reading. The first of which being Hot Summer by Elle Everhart. I believe this is a sapphic reality TV show inspired romance, and I'm not a Love Island fan, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this. It's very pretty. It's got very nice sprayed edges. I'm a bit dubious about this one, but it's on my TBR, so I need to read it. I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised, I think, is the vibe with this one. There's that. And then number 9, my other Afterlight book, is One Last Shot by Betty Kyoette. This is second chance childhood friends romance between a supermodel and a photographer in Italy, I believe. I think it's one of these where they had a marriage pact and now the time for their pact has come around and she's like, oh, maybe we could do the thing. And I don't know. That's about all I know about this book. Well, I mean, we all know how it's going to end, but hopefully it'll be interesting to see how it gets there. It does have a cool cover because it wraps around with this is a very pretty design. Afterlight did well with this one. One thing I don't like about the Afterlight books is that they're the B format hardback, so they're like paperback sized but hardback, and I don't love that. But that's a really nitpicky, stupid thing to be annoyed about. Anyway, the last book on my list is the one that I think I'm the most aware doesn't fall into the easy cheesy romance category. It's another one on my Emily Henry backlist. There's 2 of Emily Henry's adult contemporary romances that I haven't read yet, and one of them is Happy Place. And this was the book of the summer in 2023 when I went on my honeymoon. I vividly remember one of the girls in our row on the aeroplane reading this book. And I also remember I picked this up at Tesco's because it was like £7 for the hardback or something. It was really good value, even though I wasn't that interested in the premise. But I know this is a lot of people's favourite Emily Henry. And again, it's blurbed by Hannah Grace and Ali Hazelwood, who are 2 of my favourite authors. So I need to read this book. And out of the 4 Emily Henry books I have read, I loved 3 of them. So it stands up that it will probably be a good one for me. I think that's probably one I'll pick up as an audiobook. That feels like a nice audiobook to read. Those are the 10 books I'm hoping to read this summer. The whole concept of me having a summer TBR is optimistic because out of the 4 months we've finished so far this year, I've only finished my monthly TBR in 2 of them. But the whole monthly TBR is getting more refined. I'm getting better at actually finishing them. 2 out of 4 is much better than last year where it was 0 out of 12. I just thought it would be fun to shop my own shelves and pick up some nice summery romances. And I think perhaps maybe seasonal TBRs are the way forward, actually. I don't know. I just like, because I'm someone who plans what I read, I'm not a mood reader. I almost like having a backup list. So when I finish my monthly TBR, I can turn to this and I know it's next on my list. It makes sense in my head. I don't know if it makes sense outside of my head. Anyway, a little bit of a shorter video today. I feel like I fell off the bandwagon of YouTube. I fell off the tracks. Is that what I'm aiming for? I detoured a bit from YouTube because life got busy and prioritizing making content is tricky when I have other jobs and a limited pool of energy. So I have to prioritize the right things. But we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. Let me know if you've read any of the books on this list, whether it be good or bad, because I would love to hear your opinions. If there's any you think I should prioritize and read first, let me know. I would love to hear. Any other than that, wow. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're reading a great book, and I'll see you next time for another bookish video. Bye!